7 Stoic signs you're dealing with a truly evil person. Have you ever met someone who made your gut scream danger, but you couldn't explain why? The ancient Stoics understood something most people miss. True evil doesn't always announce itself with horns and a pitchfork. Sometimes it wears a charming smile. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot these people before they cause serious damage to your life. What's up, truth seekers? If you're new here, welcome to a channel where we blend ancient wisdom with modern reality. And if you're already part of this community, thank you for being here. Today we're diving into something the Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca understood deeply. How to identify people whose intentions are genuinely destructive. This isn't about judging everyone around you or becoming paranoid. It's about protecting your peace, your energy, and your future. So grab a notebook, because these 7 signs might just save you from years of regret. And hey, if this video helps you, smash that like button and subscribe. It helps us reach more people who need this wisdom. Sign 1, they never accept responsibility. The first Stoic sign you're dealing with a truly malicious person, they never accept responsibility for anything. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "If someone can prove me wrong and show me where I am mistaken, I will gladly change. But an evil person, they'll twist, deflect, and blame everyone else before admitting fault." Here's what this looks like in real life. You confront them about something hurtful they did, and suddenly you're the bad guy. They didn't lie to you, you're too sensitive. They didn't manipulate you, you misunderstood. They didn't betray you, you drove them to it. The Stoics believe that wisdom requires honest self-examination, but these individuals lack that fundamental honesty. They're so disconnected from accountability that they genuinely believe their own distortions. Watch for this. If someone has been in your life for years and you've never heard them genuinely apologize or admit they were wrong about something significant, that's a massive red flag waving in your face. Sign 2, they find pleasure in others' pain. Sign number 2 is chilling. They derive genuine pleasure from other people's suffering. Seneca warned us about people who delight in cruelty. And here's the thing, this doesn't always look like obvious sadism. Sometimes it's subtle. Maybe they share bad news with barely concealed excitement. Perhaps they're the first to say, "I told you so," when you're already down. They might tell humiliating stories about others disguised as funny anecdotes. Or you notice they're most engaged in conversations when discussing someone else's failure or misfortune. The Stoics taught us about sympathia, the interconnectedness of all humans. We're supposed to feel compassion when others suffer, but these individuals feel the opposite. They feed on it. I'll never forget someone I knew who would literally smile when describing bad things happening to their friends. Not a sympathetic, sad smile, a genuine lip-curling grin. That's when I knew something was deeply wrong. Here's your litmus test. Notice how someone reacts when you share difficult news. Do they show genuine concern? Or is there a flicker of satisfaction in their eyes? Sign 3, they isolate you from others. The third sign, they systematically isolate you from your support network. Epictetus taught that our relationships are one of life's greatest goods. Evil people know this too. That's why they try to cut you off from yours. This happens gradually. First, they might criticize your best friend. Are you sure they have your best interests at heart? Then it's your family. They don't really understand you like I do. Eventually, everyone in your life is toxic, jealous, or holding you back. Except for them, of course. The Stoic philosopher understood that wise counsel comes from multiple sources, but manipulative people want to be your only source of reality. Why? Because isolated people are easier to control. When you have no one to reality check their behavior with, you start doubting your own perceptions. I've seen this destroy lives. Someone starts a relationship with a full circle of friends and family. 2 years later, they're completely alone, convinced that everyone who loved them was actually against them. Red flag moment. If someone in your life consistently has problems with everyone you care about, The common denominator isn't all those people, it's them. Sign 4, they're obsessed with control. Sign 4, they have an overwhelming need to control everything and everyone around them. The Stoics made a crucial distinction between what we can control, our own thoughts, actions, and responses, and what we cannot control, basically everything else. Truly malicious individuals ignore this wisdom entirely. They believe they should control all of it. This manifests in countless ways. They dictate what you wear, who you see, how you spend your money. They need to know where you are every moment. They make unilateral decisions that affect both of you. They punish you through anger, silent treatment, or sabotage when you assert independence. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." But these people can't accept that. The idea that other people have autonomy drives them crazy because it means they can't guarantee outcomes. What makes this evil rather than just annoying? It's the complete disregard for your humanity. They see you as an extension of themselves, a pawn in their game, not as a person with equal rights to self-determination. Watch for this. Healthy people make requests and accept no as an answer. Toxic controllers make demands and punish you for having boundaries. Sign 5. They lack genuine remorse. The 5th sign is one of the most telling. They completely lack genuine remorse. Now don't confuse this with sign number 1. This is different. They might occasionally say, "I'm sorry," but watch closely. There's no actual remorse behind it. The Stoics valued apatheia, not the absence of emotion, but the absence of destructive passions. Evil people have a different kind of emotional absence. They don't feel guilt or shame when they hurt others. Their apologies are strategic, not sincere. They say sorry to end an argument, to manipulate you back into their orbit, or to avoid consequences. But their behavior, it never changes. They'll do the exact same thing next week, next month, forever. Seneca said, "The mind that is anxious about future events is miserable." These individuals aren't anxious about future harm they might cause because they genuinely don't care. There's no internal moral compass guiding them. Here's what real remorse looks like: change behavior, making amends, demonstrating understanding of how their actions affected you. Fake remorse looks like, "I'm sorry you felt that way," followed by immediately doing the same thing again. The pattern: apologize, repeat, apologize, repeat. If you're seeing this cycle, you're not dealing with someone who makes mistakes. You're dealing with someone who doesn't think hurting you is actually wrong. Sign 6, they gaslight your reality. Sign number 6, they systematically gaslight your perception of reality. The Stoics believed in living according to nature and truth. Gaslighting is the complete opposite. It's deliberately distorting truth to make someone doubt their own mind. This is psychological warfare. They tell you something didn't happen when you know it did. They claim they said something when you clearly remember otherwise. They insist you're crazy, too emotional, or remembering wrong so often that you start believing it. Epictetus taught, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." Evil people exploit this. They make you think you don't know what you actually do know. I want you to understand how insidious this is. Gaslighting doesn't just make you doubt a specific memory, it makes you doubt your entire ability to perceive reality accurately. That's the goal. Once you can't trust yourself, you have to trust them instead. This creates a kind of psychological prison where your own mind becomes unreliable, and they become the sole arbiter of what's real and what isn't. Trust yourself. If you find yourself constantly questioning your memory, perception, or sanity around someone specific, that's not coincidence. That's a tactic. Sign 7, they violate boundaries repeatedly. The 7th and final sign, they deliberately and repeatedly violate your boundaries. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Reject your sense of injury, and the injury itself disappears. But that wisdom assumes good faith actors." With truly malicious people, your boundaries aren't misunderstood. They're targets. Here's what this looks like. You clearly express a limit. They ignore it. You reinforce the boundary. They push harder. You explain why it matters. They do it anyway, often while making eye contact, because violating your boundary is the point. The Stoics taught respect for the rational nature in all humans. These individuals respect nothing but their own desires. Your boundaries are obstacles to be destroyed, not guidelines to be honored. And here's the cruelest part. They often violate your boundaries, then accuse you of being unreasonable for having them in the first place. You're too controlling. You're not fun anymore. Everyone else is fine with this. But the Stoic knows having boundaries isn't controlling. It's self-respect. Enforcing them isn't mean, it's necessary. The ultimate test: a good person might accidentally cross a boundary once, apologize, and never do it again. A malicious person crosses it repeatedly, intentionally, and with increasing boldness. So there you have it, 7 Stoic signs you're dealing with a truly evil person. Let's recap quickly. They never accept responsibility. They find pleasure in others' pain. They isolate you from others. They're obsessed with control. They lack genuine remorse. They gaslight your reality. They violate boundaries repeatedly. Now here's what the Stoics would want you to know. Recognizing these signs isn't about becoming cynical or paranoid. It's about wisdom. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be." Be one. Being good includes protecting yourself from those who aren't. You can't change these people. You can't love them into goodness, but you can recognize them, set boundaries, and if necessary, remove them from your life entirely. Your peace matters. Your mental health matters. The Stoics believed in living according to reason and virtue, and sometimes the most reasonable, virtuous thing you can do is walk away. If this video opened your eyes or helped you make sense of a difficult relationship, do me a favor. Hit that like button so more people can find this wisdom. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because we're building a community of people who value truth, growth, and protecting their peace. And here's my question for you. Have you encountered any of these signs in your own life? Drop a comment below. Sometimes sharing our experiences helps others feel less alone. But remember, be thoughtful about what you share publicly and prioritize your safety. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay wise, stay strong, and remember, you deserve people who treat you with respect and dignity. Don't settle for less.